Choujin Sentai Jetman is the 15th Sentai season and the first one in the Sugimura era, named after Noboru Sugimura. In this era, it run from Jetman through O-Ranger. The name Choujin Sentai Jetman roughly translates to Birdman Squadron Jetman, with the theme being birds, inspired by Kagaku Ninjatai Gatchaman. Jetman was also the first season to have a third robo, have the main team being complete in the first episode, as well as have infighting between the main villains. Jetman was also supposed to have a base robo, but this never made it through development. Before I get any further, I just wanted to say that Jetman was supposed to be the last season of Sentai because Fiveman didn't do so well in terms of ratings, so they changed a few things for Jetman, like having there being a love triangle between the Rangers, infighting between the villains, and other darker elements. Well, these changes allowed Jetman to be a success and cause a renewed interest in the series, allowing it to exist, even to today. The 15th Red Senshi and the one for this season was Red Hawk. In the finale, Red Hawk would marry White Swan. Anyway, Red Hawk had the name Ryu Tendo and is played by actor Kotaro Tanaka. The 9th Black Senshi and the one for this season was Black Condor. Black Condor would ultimately die in the finale of Jetman, stopping a mugger. RIP Black Condor. Anyway, Black Condor had the name Gai Yuki and is played by actor Toshihide Wakamatsu. The 12th Yellow Senshi and the one for this season was Yellow Owl. He would be the first ranger to wear glasses regularly. Anyway, Yellow Owl had the name Raita Oishi and is played by actor Tomiisa Naruse. The 3rd White Senshi and the one for this season was White Swan. White Swan would marry Red Hawk in the finale. Anyway, White Swan had the name Kaori Rokumeikon, but after the finale had the name Kaori Tendo. She would be played by actress Rika Kishida. The 15th Blue Senshi and the one for this season was Blue Swallow. Blue Swallow was a high school student during the series, and in the finale became a singing sensation. Anyway, Blue Swallow had the name Ako Hayasaka and is played by actress Sayuri Uchida. Jetman would also have another ranger, Green Eagle, but he only existed in the manga. Essentially, he was just the replacement for Black Condor, so he could just be called Black Condor 2, even though he has the name Green Eagle. Anyway, Green Eagle had the name Jeffrey Kinsaki, and since he only existed in the manga, he doesn't have an actor. There was also another team in this season, the Neo-Jetman. The Neo-Jetman were essentially a team put together to replace the original Jetman, getting their powers from Birdonic reactors implanted into their bodies instead of Birdonic waves. An interesting fact about the Neo-Jetman is all of them are played by stunt actors, except for J1, who was played by Yuta Mochizuki, who would later play Tyranno Ranger in Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger. Jetman had 4 mecha: Icarus Hawken / Jet Icarus, which combined out of Jet Hawk, Jet Condor / Eagle, Jet Owl, Jet Swan, and Jet Swallow, Bird Garuda / Jet Garuda, Hyper Hawken / Great Icarus, and Tetra Boy / Tetra Buster. Jet Hawk was a jet mecha inspired by a hawk and was piloted by Red Hawk. It is armed with 2 laser blasters on its top, and it forms the front of Icarus Hawken, the head and chest of Jet Icarus, as well as the head and center chest of Great Icarus. Jet Condor was a jet mecha inspired by a condor and was piloted by Black Condor. It is armed with lasers in front of its wings, and it forms the right rudder of Icarus Hawken, the right leg of Jet Icarus, and the upper left leg of Great Icarus. In the manga, it was repainted and renamed Jet Eagle for Green Eagle, the replacement for Black Condor. Jet Owl was a jet mecha inspired by an owl and was piloted by Yellow Owl. It is armed with 4 lasers as well as a large claw. It forms the right wing of Icarus Hawken, the right arm of Jet Icarus, and the upper right arm of Great Icarus. Jet Swan was a jet mecha inspired by a swan and was piloted by White Swan. It is armed with lasers right next to the cockpit, but these were hardly ever used. It forms the left rudder of Icarus Hawken, the left leg of Jet Icarus, and the upper right leg of Great Icarus. Jet Swallow was a jet mecha inspired by a swallow and was piloted by Blue Swallow. It doesn't have any laser weaponry, but it can attach its wings and use that to attack monsters. It forms the left wing of Icarus Hawken, the left arm of Jet Icarus, and the upper left arm of Great Icarus. Icarus Hawken is an alternate combination of the jet machines. It combines through the command Combine Jet Scram. Jet Icarus is the main robo of the Jetman, as well as the main combination of the jet machines. It combines out of Jet Hawk, Jet Condor / Eagle, Jet Owl, Jet Swan, and Jet Swallow through the command Combine Scram Wing. Bird Garuda is an airship mecha that resembles a Garuda. It wasn't made by the Jetman, it was actually made by a group of back dimension soldiers from Dementia, Ray, Kana, and Dan. but when they fell to Radiguet, the Jetman inherited Bird Garuda. Jet Garuda is the secondary robo of the Jetman. It transforms out of Bird Garuda through the command Transformation Jet Garuda. Hyper Hawken is a combination between Icarus Hawken and Bird Garuda. These mecha combine with the command Fusion Hawken Scram. Great Icarus is the super robo for the Jetman. It combines out of Jet Icarus and Jet Garuda through the command Fusion Great Scram. Tetra Boy was the third robo for the Jetman. It didn't need a pilot, it used its AI for movement, and it specialized in kickboxing. Tetra Boy could also transform into the Tetra Buster through the command Transform Tetra Buster. The Tetra Buster was essentially just a cannon that could be used by any of the Jetman mecha. Here's what Jet Icarus looked like holding the Tetra Buster. Here's what Jet Garuda looked like holding the Tetra Buster. Great Icarus never got to use the Tetra Buster in the show, but you could combine Great Icarus and the Tetra Buster in the toy line, and that's what this looks like. In the bottom right corner of this image, you can see what Jetman's base robo would have looked like had they had one, but as stated, a base robo for the Jetman never made it through development. Well, that just about does it for this episode of Sentai History. Jetman was an interesting Sentai season that differed from its surrounding seasons, but yet it was a huge success for Toei and the Super Sentai franchise. And in fact, it's one of my favorite seasons. I hope you learned something about Jetman, and with all that being said, I'll see ya!